I told you before the break, we're going to talk to a young man that over the night's going to do some really big things. He's, of course, definitely a big-time friend and supporter of the show.
Yes.
He's doing major things over at North Carolina Central University basketball program, and got all people holler at him like Stephen A. Smith and everybody.
Like,
you know.
really?
But when you coach Moton, that's what's going on.
That's how. And so I say that's how we roll.
That's
how he rolls.
Right. Welcome back to the sports shop. Head coach of North Carolina Central University, Coach Bill Moton. What's up, Bill? What's going on, brother?
Good morning, friend.
Man, what's up, man? Y'all live in the living color.
Yes.
It ain't never too early, Coach. It ain't never too early.
Thank you again for showing some time.
Absolutely.
I know you got a lot going on, but we appreciate you. So I got several questions, but just talk about we're gonna think positive after the win tonight. What would it mean to you to achieve that level of success at that university, Coach?
Man, obviously it's truly a blessing. And I'm sure you guys have, guys on all the time that is whatever, like one of the all-time winners at their colleges or leading score or something like that. And they all probably kind of say the same thing, is that you really don't think about it, man. I think it's one of those feats that you really think about when you're older and you know, tired and things like that, right? Because you only get here by keeping your head down and doing the work.
That's right.
Right? And that's that. You don't get here saying, hey, I'm going to coach to be the all-time wins leader. I'm going to coach to break this record. You just give your all and coach to make these young men better and mold them into productive citizens. So one day when the ball stops bouncing, they can be great husbands and great fathers and great leaders and great men of the community. And hopefully you want to win some games in between all that. And then all of a sudden you look up one day and people are saying, if you win tonight, you're the all-time wins leader. So it's great company. Enough respect to the legends, the Floyd Brown, obviously John McClendon. Like that's crazy.
He's the legend.
I know, in the same
He
sentence,
is
man.
the legend.
Wow.
Like that's crazy. But you really don't think about it, man. And I think we played Kansas earlier this year, and myself and Bill Self, we had a sit-down town hall with the people of Kansas, and they were really honoring John McClendon. And they kind of asked me the same question. I said, listen, man, like it's truly unfair for me to be mentioned in the same breath as him because, I got it made, man. I'm living in a world where I can go to the same water fountain. I can go to the same bathroom or whatever. I can eat at whatever restaurant I want to eat at, and I go home, right? He didn't have that luxury, right? Not only did he have to coach a basketball team, he had to deal with Jim Crow. He had to deal with desegregation. He had to deal with racism, overt racism at that time, and still coach a basketball team. So he took the butt whooping so I wouldn't have to take him.
Wow.
Right. And so it's only right that, I pass a record and on a wins column, but the record of life, I can't compare to him.
Wow, that's an unbelievable statement.
Wow, that is so awesome.
Yep.
We're talking with head coach Lavelle Moton, who is about to be a legend himself with North Carolina Central University. And Coach, I was listening to you talk about your conversation with head coach Bill Self at Kansas and seeing some of the games you guys have been in. It made me want to ask you a question. Being a leader of a program at an HBCU and traveling now around the country, and in some senses of the word being, one of the faces of HBCU athletics in this country, what's probably been some of the oddest things that you've been encountered or asked about HBCUs or being a leader of an HBCU program by others in this country?
Man, I can make a list. I don't even think you have enough time. a lot of times when you're trying to educate people on HBCUs, number one, they don't even know what the acronym stands for.
That's correct.
Right.
So let's start there. They don't know where you're located. They don't know if you're Division One. They don't know what conference you're in.
Yeah.
They don't know any alums. They don't know any alma maters. And that's just the basics. And then it's the stereotype. I mean, let's just be completely honest. We live in a country where if one HBCU has an issue in the world, then they kind of lump all of the HBCUs together, right? And so you're kind of fighting, against that to establish your own identity and establish your own brand. One of the questions I was asked when I was in Kansas, what was it like being on Tobacco Road in close proximity to Carolina, Duke, and NC State? And I told them, with no disrespect, it's like the Kardashians, but you're Rob and you're fighting to be out of that shot.
Oh, wow.
You're not Kim, Courtney, or Chloe. You're
Rob.
You're Rob.
Poor Rob.
Poor Rob.
Poor Rob. Like, shout out to Rob.
Rob been eating a lot.
That's a good analogy, though.
Right? But the only way, and I knew early that I find joy in, I'll tell you what I really found joy in. When I first got the job, the first year, we were walking to the airport and we had NCCU on our chest. An elderly white woman, sweet as pie, asked me in the airport, I think we were in Colorado, she said, what does that acronym stand for? She didn't know, right? And so it made me say, okay, I have to win games and establish a brand and identity so people will know what this acronym stands for. And not only that, people will call us NC Central, right, instead of NCCU, right? And so if you look on TV now with our basketball team and football team and the university, people say NC Central.
That's right.
So this was 14 years ago. So I think we've made progression, and it's a slight victory for us, but it's just, first of all, just becoming a household name, in other people's living room. So I think that's the biggest obstacle.
Wow, that's interesting.
Awesome. We are talking to our friend, the legend, who tonight will be the winningest coach at NC Central, Coach Lavelle Moton. First of all, I just want to say I'm super proud of you. I have an office over at Hargett in Salisbury, and it almost brings tears to my eyes because I park in the parking lot and see you all over the place, your mural. And you're still living,
I know, baby. And we're talking to him.
And we're talking to him, and you're our friend.
That does help.
And tonight, you're going to make history again. And so I say to you, like tonight, when you look up at the scoreboard and you're the winningest coach, you're known for always having a quote for every situation. What are you going to think about, or how would you describe this when you pull into the garage tonight? You know how sometimes you sit there for a minute and you reflect. Most people do. What will you be thinking about, or what quote would you describe where you are now?
Ooh, that's a great question. I'll be honest. I'll probably think about my grandma.
Yeah.
Boy, y'all got me crying at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
I'll think about her, man, because I get a lot of credit. But I'm one of those guys that was the product of his grandma prayers, and I understand that. The first thing when she passed, she didn't have much. I don't think I've ever told the story, but she didn't have much. And one of the things that we got in terms of her belongings was her Bible. And my mom just kept the Bible. She passed when I was 11 years old. And my mom kept the Bible in storage for years upon years. Years later, I'm 23, 24. I get my own house, and I have an interior decorator comes to the house, and she says, it would be great to put a table right here you got anything you would want to put on it? I said, sure, I know exactly what I want. So I asked my mom for the Bible. My mom got it out of storage. I put the Bible on the table. And my grandmother's Bible was almost like her pocketbook. She kept everything in her Bible. You know what I'm saying? And so one day I'm running out the house, and my hip hits the Bible, and it knocks out all the papers. And so now I get on the floor, and I'm picking up everything, and now I'm starting to get goosebumps because I'm seeing her handwriting.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Reminiscing, right? And I look, and she has my baseball schedule when I was 8 years old in there. She has my basketball schedule at the boys' club. She has all these things. And then I see a letter. She had written a letter to God right before she passed. She kept it in the Bible. And my mother's the youngest of 6, and I'm the baby out of all the grandkids. So she went through and she was asking God what she needed him to do to every kid and every grandkid. And when she got to me, I was the last one. And she said, and God, please watch over Puffy because he's going to be really special. And change the world one day.
Wow.
Wow. And that's exactly what you did and what you're doing.
And you're doing, whoa, man.
Oh, man, you have
it's kind of hard to follow that one.
I got tears myself.
We talking to head coach Lavelle Moton, who's is going to be the winningest coach at North Carolina Central University. Yeah. And I'm going to segue to some little lighter note just because, Pam, you kind of put us right there.
I'm proud of this dude.
But Stephen A. Smith, that whole scenario, that was getting a lot of pub all over the media. He even mentioned you on First Take. Tell me how all that came together. Obviously, he came to visit you this week, a game where a big rivalry game between NC Central and, of course, NC A&T. Talk about that whole process, if we were Coach.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know, man. I know Stephen A. since 95, 96. You know, me and Jerry Stackhouse was best friends at the time. I was a senior at Central. Jerry had just been drafted by the Sixers, so that summer I went and lived with Jerry in the summer, you know, to work out, get better. And Stephen A. was a beat writer for the Sixers at that time. So that summer, me, Jerry, Allen Iverson, we hung out every single day. Stephen A. hung out with us too.
Hey,
you know so he hung out with us too, right? And so he was a cool brother. I knew he was from Winston. We talked about Big House because, you know, Big House was in the league and all of those things, man. Yeah. So he just became a cool guy. Fast forward 20 years, 30 years later, whatever it is. You know, the documentary on ESPN, Why Not Us?
Yeah.
Him and Chris initially called me and said they wanted to be Chris Paul, they wanted to be the executive producers of that.
Okay.
Right? And so we got a little closer doing that run. And then we just continued to talk, you know, periodically, man, and, you know, just about real life things, man. And I always appreciated him, respected him. He truly blessed me with my Velcans Foundation and my single moms and supporting that.
Okay.
On the way to the game, we were on the bus. He called me. He was like, man, I'm coming in town. I'm catching the jet in. I'm going to be in and out. But I definitely got to get out there and talk to you for, you know, before the game. And then I said, well, can you come in the locker room and, you know, bless the kids? Because they would love to see you, man. Like, a lot of these kids are from places where they don't get to see, you know, people like you or influential figures in their life. And just hear, not only see, but hear from me. He said, man, you know I will. So I got to the game. He hit me. We talked for like 30 minutes before the game, you know, just about life and, you know, the families and how everybody doing. And then he came in and after the game and spoke to the team in the locker room. And they were fascinated. They were kind of stunned, you know, they were trying to be cool or whatever. But, you know, it was a blessing, man. And, you know, I appreciate, you know, everything that he did because he's still always supportive of HBCUs, not just women. Right? And Monty is this man. Monty, shout out to Monty. Monty coaches at A&T. They were high school roommates, too.
Yeah, I didn't realize that,
Yeah, it was a chance for him to knock two birds out with one stone.
Okay. Well, that's special, man.
Awesome.
And again, he showed you some love. But hey, seriously, from the sports shop, I mean, you're gonna make it happen tonight. I think it's gonna happen tonight, man. Congratulations from us, man. You're a true leader and a legend, man. And we're just so happy and proud of you, all the work you're doing, my friends. Keep up the good work. Okay?
Yes, we love you. And I remember you with that when he first put that number 15 jersey on. I was watching him play.
That's back in the day.
That was back in the day. He helped me put up my banner.
They call that a throwback.
A throwback. And now, and where you are now, it's just we're super proud of you.
Don't think I'm gonna let you slide. I caught that at, what you was talking about, Puff.
Oh yeah.
Look, man, I'm proud of y'all, man, because from day one, y'all always been here and been the same, man. And I've seen how your platform has evolved and, you know, the influence and impact that you're making on the community and just people in general, man. And it's always a joy and pleasure to call in, man. So I'm extremely proud of y'all, too.
Be
Thank
blessed,
you.
man.
Be blessed.
All right, we'll talk to you soon, Coach. Take care. All right.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah. That's a
Man,
special guy.
that's
He's a special
so
guy.
special.
That's good.
He making a difference, man. I mean, it's funny though. I mean, hey, if you look on the HBCU landscape, basketball. I mean, we're here, but people all over the place. I mean, he's put that brand together, man. He's done a good job.
Well respected.